I got a wild one for you. Really wild. They're saying that the Maryland schools, primarily in Baltimore, Baltimore is getting more answers after learning Maryland taxpayers giving millions of dollars to schools to educate students who are not in class. In the state of Maryland, they only count the students that are there on one specific day of the school year. They don't account for students not being there. And in Baltimore, these kids are going out, burning down whatever they can burn down. They're committing violence. They're committing all kinds of crimes, even though Baltimore is so much safer. It's so safe that the Baltimore mayor is buying $100 and something thousand armored SUV. Taxpayers had to pay for that. Now, close to $1 billion were spent on these students who only show up one day out of the year, and the rest of the time they're listed as location unknown. Think about that. These kids aren't getting educated. They've got schools that are failing at proficiencies. But $1 billion were spent on these students. And this was found by the Maryland Inspector General for Education, Rick Henry. So, on top of that, there is a member of their state legislature that is trying to fix this problem, but the problem is that the teachers union, this is a Democrat state, and the teachers union is one of the most powerful entities within the Democrat Party, them and Antifa. So, of course, this bill to make sure that these students are accounted for more than just one day is continuously being shot down. So, we're going to cover this. If you're in Maryland, folks, your education system is wasting you money. So, let's get into this also. Hey, hit like and subscribe if you like learning what's going on in government on the local, state, and federal levels. It's time that these people are held accountable. And also, folks keep trying to knock me down. I keep getting restricted on channels and whatnot. I'm going to keep fighting, though, because I want people to know what's going on. So, hit like and subscribe, and let's get into this story.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Okay, so according to ABC News 7 in Maryland, Project Baltimore, I've already covered that part, and more we learn, more alarming. Recent letter written by Maryland Inspector General for Education Rick Henry is eye-opening. It's very alarming, remarked Henry, speaking of his letter. Henry wrote the letter in response to Fox 45 News investigation that found in 2024, Maryland taxpayers gave public schools an estimated $168 million to educate students who could not be found. There needs to be some course correction, said Baltimore County State Delegate Kathy Zaliga. Our reporting prompted Zaliga to write Henry's office requesting an investigation. The letter is Henry's reply, which contains the number $990,974,429. That is the amount that IG says taxpayers could have sent to schools to educate students who were not in class. As it stands right now, we know that schools are receiving money to educate students that aren't there, said Project Baltimore's Chris Papst to Henry. Correct, Henry said. How do you fix this? Asked Papst. The only way it can be fixed is by the legislature, stated Henry. Under Maryland state law, most of the school's funding is based on the number of students enrolled on one day, September 30th. But during the school year, many students are unenrolled. Documented reasons range from lack of interest to court action, but thousands of students who are funded stop showing up and are classified as whereabouts unknown, a category that's drastically increasing. It's sad because you just want to make sure that students student isn't ending up in some type of life of crime, stated Henry, but for some reason this number keeps increasing. In his letter, Henry includes a chart which shows the number of instances where state students were labeled whereabouts unknown going back to 2019 and including an estimate for 2025. The official 2025 state number has not yet been released. Henry then multiplies the cost per student average for each year by the number of whereabout unknown designations and estimates this issue could have cost taxpayers nearly $1 billion over the past 6 school years. That's a lot of money. Yes, especially now that when budgets are tight, when school systems are asking for more money, this is funds that are available. A request for missing student The funds for missing students, Henry says, is correctable if the state legislature is willing to adjust the funding formula by counting enrollment more often. Fox News 40 or Fox 45 News has been reporting the funding of missing students since 2021. Bills have been introduced in the legislature to correct the issue by counting enrollment multiple times a year, but lawmakers in Annapolis never passed the bills. So, 2019 to 2020, whereabouts unknown. Grades 7 through 12, 6,126. That's $15,226 cost per student average. That was $93,274,476. 2020 to 2021, 7,203 students whereabouts unknown at a cost of $16,334. That's $117,653,802. 2021 22, 8,722 students at $17,377. 2022 2023, 9,981 at $18,551. 2023 to 2024, 10,997 students, $18,424 per student. And they're saying this year, the 2024-2025 year was 11,954. That's based on the average increases at $20,000 or $20,137. Now, think about that. Now let's get into this legislature bit. This is coming from Fox 45 News. Maryland delegate calls school funding law fiscally irresponsible, pushes for change. One Maryland delegate is taking action to stop your tax dollars from going to public schools to educate students who are no longer enrolled, but will Annapolis follow suit? Either you care about the taxpayers' money and the kids, or you don't, said Carroll, the Frederick County State Delegate April Rose. Rose believes Maryland has a problem regarding how public schools are funded. A problem Rose says she has been trying to fix unsuccessfully for years, but she's not giving up. I hope that we can move forward and get something done. Rose tells Project Baltimore that during the upcoming 2026 legislative session in Annapolis, she plans to introduce a bill to adjust the formula of how public schools receive your tax dollars. We know we have a lot of kids that are supposed to be in school getting an education. They're not, remarked Rose. Nobody knows where they are, and I find that to be a real problem that needs to be solved. Currently under Maryland's law, okay, I've already covered that part from the other article. Fox 45 News in 2021 began reporting on potential flaws in the process. At that time, using 2019 data, Project Baltimore reported schools received $92 million to educate students who were classified as whereabouts unknown. So, 2022, she first introduced the legislation in Maryland multiple times a year to ensure the more accurate enrollments and funding. During a House Appropriations Committee meeting that same year, Rose spoke about her proposed bill but was largely ignored. The bill was not brought up for a vote in committee in 2023 and 2024. Rose tried again, same result. State of Maryland is dominated and run by the teachers union, said Rose. They don't want the bill. They don't want anything to happen, any legislation to pass that will possibly reduce funding. In 2025, Rose did not submit her bill, but in 2026, she plans to try again because, as Project Baltimore reported last month, the problem has gotten worse. So, you're looking at you're looking at nearly $1 billion spent on all this. And somebody has been trying to fix this. But the teacher unions are not allowing it. Okay, let's take a look at this as another thing. There isn't a single fixed number for failing schools in Maryland, as it depends on the criteria used, but recent reports indicate over 200 schools where 5% or fewer students achieve proficiency in math on the MCAP test in 2022 and 2023 school year. In 23 of these schools had 0 students score proficient in math. Additionally, some districts in Baltimore region are struggling, according to the 2024 Maryland School Report Card. MCAP Math Proficiency 2025 Project Baltimore analysis of the MCAP results show 23 schools with 0 students proficient in math and 15 more with only 1 student proficient. In 2023, Project Baltimore found at least 200 schools have 5% or fewer students scoring proficient in math. 2024 Maryland School Report Card indicates that some districts in Baltimore region are moving in the wrong direction regarding the high-performing schools. 6 Maryland public schools were placed on a safety watch list by MSDE, Maryland State Department of Education, May 2025. So you're looking at these schools are failing students. The parents are failing the students. And it's costing Maryland taxpayers almost $1 billion for all this failure. Think about that. All of this failure. And there's $1 billion where's it going? I mean, seriously, where is it going? If these kids if there are 23 schools with 0 students scoring proficiency in math, you've got, another 12 it said that only 1 student passed? This is idiotic. And yet, hey, teachers union saying that public schools should be, we need to fund public schools. Public schools are the only thing to do. Public schools this, public schools that. Charter schools are doing so much better for these students. Private schools are doing so much better for these students. And you wonder why? That's because they're not ran by teachers unions. These teachers unions have hurt public schools, have hurt education in this country, and it's about time that we get them to no longer have power. Now, between them and Antifa, they run the Democrat Party. And it's about time that we stop it. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.